Hi folks, I thought I would do another YouTube video for you. This one is going to be about building a bet builder multiple. Obviously there's been quite a bit of interest and I've had quite a few DMs after Briz and myself went and got a good winner the other night on some international games. So I've kind of already done a bit of research. It's for a game late tonight and 3 games early in the morning. So I'll just kind of try and go through it as best I can. So again, we'll go into FOTMob. So the games that I identified was for tonight, the Uruguay game versus Ecuador, and then for tomorrow, early morning, Colombia game, Argentina game, and Brazil game. So what I'm going to do is I'll go into tonight's game first of all, which is the Uruguay game. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get it prepped up on bet365. So Uruguay game. So press the bet builder button. And some people have been saying they don't know how to put one of these on, so hopefully this video will kind of explain it. So you press start building. Now what you see is these are all the different markets that you could pick. Disappointing thing is for the 4 games that I'm going to pick, they don't have player cards, which is always really good for boosting your odds up. So on this one, this bet builder multiple, I'm going to focus on picking one player to score, and also a nice new feature that bet365 got is both teams to receive cards, as you can see that market there. And I'll kind of show that one in a little minute. So on this one, I'm going to go back into Uruguay. So again, you're looking at the bet365 sign there. It kind of shows you that the odds 1.66 for Uruguay, 6 for Ecuador. It's more than likely Uruguay is going to be the team that wins this, so they're probably going to be the team that scores more chance of scoring a goal. So if we look at Uruguay, last 5 matches, they've got 3 wins, 2 draws, 4 out of the 5 games have scored. So I'm going to look into these games to see if I can pick a goal scorer. So in this one, we've got the Araceta, probably pronouncing that really wrong. In the last game, he scored 2 goals, one of which was a penalty, which is again, it kind of tells us that's a good thing to look for from the previous videos. If I check lineup, he's an attacker. Sometimes you need to kind of check these things because it could be a Harry Maguire who scores from defence, but he's not going to score every week. And it's more likely that an attacker or an attacking midfielder is going to score your goals. So this is a good sign, the Araceta. Go back, previous game, he scored again. No point looking at the 0-0 game. The 1-0, Cavani scored. And in this one, Cavani scored again. Now the thing is, some players might not be playing. So what you're looking at is the lineups aren't here yet, so I'll check injured. And I can see Luis Suarez isn't playing, so he's obviously not going to get picked. And then I would go back into bet365. I'm looking here, we don't have Cavani, so it looks like he's not playing either. But when you look at the Araceta, he's actually quite a good price to score anytime. So I'm going to pick him at 11-4, which is good odds. And then just press add. As I said about the both teams to receive cards market, got to press that. Now again, to shorten the video, I've already done a bit of research into how many cards each team receives. I'm going to go for 2 cards on this one. 2 cards for each team. So say yes, and then press add. So once they're both added, press done. And then you've got your 2 selections. Now at this point, as you can see, 7.25 to 1. And then underneath it says add to bet slip. Just click on that. And that should clear that, and it's in your bet slip there. Then up here in the top left, you see Soccer, South America, World Cup qualifying. Press that button there, and it takes you to the other games. So as I said, I'm missing out the Paraguay game. Next game I'm going to look at is Colombia. So I'll get that set up. Press Bet Builder again. Start building. Now, as you can see here, we've got player to score again, but we don't have both teams to receive cards. So on this one, I'm going to go for corners. But again, let's go for player to score first. I'm looking at all the different goal scorers there, but I'm going back in and I'm going to check the Colombia game. So looking at the odds again, you've got Colombia the favourites significantly. You look at last 5 results, they've only won 1, but they've scored 4 times out of the last 4 games they've scored. You look at Chile, they've scored 1 goal in the last 5 games, although they've played Brazil twice, but they're not in the greatest form, so I'm probably not going to go for a goal scorer from them. So again, looking at the last 5 games, let's see if we can get a goal scorer. We'll get Cuadrado, Juventus player. Again, he scored the penalty, and he scored in this game. Just double check. Yep. So he's there on the right hand side. Yep, so he scored. Checking this game. So it was somebody called Martinez that scored. Check the lineup. He's a forward, so yeah, I would take note of him. In this game, Cuadrado has scored. Again, it wasn't even a penalty, so he scored in that one, and Diaz scored a couple. Checking this one, Diaz scored as well. So Diaz would be somebody I'd be looking for as well. Go back in, so I'm probably going to pick him. Now, for me, I think I'm probably going to go for Cuadrado. 41. We've got Luis Diaz there, but I'm going to go for Cuadrado because he almost always plays, and it's good odds, 41. So I'm going to select that, add. Again, as I said, I've done some research, so I'm going to go for corners, but I'm not going to go for too many. So in this one, I'm going to go, as you can see in the left here, it says both teams combined. You can press that and just go for Colombia or Chile. But in this one, I'm going to go for both teams combined, and I'm going to go for over 6 corners. It's not too bad, still half decent odds. I'm just going to add that. So once the 2 of them added, press done, and just like the last one, I'm going to press add to bet slip. And there you go. As you can see down in the bottom here, you've got 2 selections in your bet slip. Just press X and it puts it back down again. Again, we're going back again. We're picking the next game, which is Argentina versus Bolivia. Press Bet Builder. Start building. And again, as you can see, we've got player to score, but we've also got both teams to receive cards in this one. So in this one, I'm going to go and look for the player to score. Now, as you can see here, almost all of the first team before you get to the away team are Argentinian players. So it's more than likely it's an Argentinian player that's going to score. But we'll go back in and we'll check in FotMob. So we've got Argentina versus Bolivia. We'll look at form. They've scored in the last 5 games, all of them. Last 5 games, we've got Martinez scored, Correa as well. In this one, we've got Di Maria scored. In this one, Martinez scored again. Martinez scored again, and Messi very late. And we've got Messi, who scored the penalties. He scored a penalty, but he scored 2 in this one against Bolivia previously. But again, Martinez scored. So for me on this one, I'm going to go for Lautaro Martinez. Again, sometimes you could pick the obvious one and you think, oh well, why didn't I pick him? He's 1-5 to score Lionel Messi. There's no real value in that one. So I'm going to go for Martinez. Just add. Now, even though they're a much better team, with this one, Argentina still get 2 cards quite easily. So although it's not fantastic odds, remember we're building a bet here. So I've added 2 cards for each team, press done, and I've just added it. So now we've got 3, and look at how big the odds are on this one now. So, and what's a good thing as well to do is, if you go into live alerts, kick-off, half-time, red cards, yellow cards, penalties, and that's you've got all those alerts coming through, so you know if there's been cards and so forth. It's a good way to keep track of your bet as well. And then for the last one, we're going for the Brazil game. And again, we'll just set it up. Again, they've got both teams to receive cards, so we're going to remember that. On this one, again, you're looking at Brazil, predominantly the goal scorers. So we're going to go back in to FOTMob, Brazil game. So as you can see here, they've scored in 4 of the last 5 games. Not prolific scorers. Looking at Peru, again, they've not got a fantastic record here. You look at the odds, 1.30 for Brazil. It's more likely they're going to do it. Got to check the injured players. So Jesus isn't playing, Firmino isn't playing, Silva isn't playing. So I'm going to try and look for somebody else. So when we look at these, who scored? Ribeiro, Paqueta. Okay, so that's interesting. Let's see where he plays. He's a midfielder and he was a substitute. That's not somebody that I kind of really want to focus on. And in the 1-1, we've got Milito, and I'm pretty sure he's a defender for Real Madrid. Yep. So I'm probably not going to go for him. So there's not much there. However, what we do know is Neymar plays. He takes penalties. He's probably the most likely to play and also score. So I'm going to go short odds, but I'm going to go for him to score anytime. Add. And again, even though Brazil are much the better team, they still get quite a lot of cards. So I'm going to go for them. Again, it looks really poor odds, 3.16, but I'm adding it. Done. And then add it to the bet slip again. And look at the odds there, 800 to 1. For some quite small odds, so you get the 4 games there. And again, I keep getting asked about how do you do it at multiple. If you look down in the bottom left here, it says 4 folds, show more multiples. If you press that little button, it comes up all different types of bet that you can do. So I'm going to go for Lucky 15. And there you go, if you press on Lucky 15, it tells you kind of all the combinations that makes up the 15 bets. On this one, so it says 15 times, I'm going to put just 20 pence. So 15 times 20 pence is only £3. And for that, place bet. And then you've got a bet builder multiple. For £3, with just 2 selections in each of the 4 games, you could win £327. Okay, that's how you do your bet builder multiple. Hope you like this one. Take care. Bye bye.